Narayanam namaskritya naranchaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vacham tato jayamudirayeet jitam te pundarikaksha namaste vishvabhavana namastestu hrishikesha mahapurusha purvaja sadaksharam brahma ya ishwarah puman gunormi srishti sthiti kala sallayah pradhana buddhyadi jagat prapanchasuhu sanostu vishnur mati bhuti muktidah शाकस्तत्र महावृक्षः सिद्धगन्धर्वसेवितः यत्रत्य वातसंस्पर्शात् आह्लादो जायते परः तत्र पुण्या जनपदाः चातुर्वर्ण्यसमन्विताः नद्यः च अत्र महापुण्याः सर्वपापभयापहाः सुकुमारी कुमारी च नलिनी धेनुका च या इक्षुश्च वेणुका चैव गभस्ति सप्तमी तथा अन्याश्च शतशः तत्र क्षुद्रनद्यः महामुने महीधरास्तथा सन्ति शतशो अथ सहस्रशः. As Parāśara is describing the earth, Saptadvipa Vasundhara ityad uktam, तदनुसारेण अत्र सप्तद्वीपानां वर्णना प्रचलत् अस्ति. So there are 7 islands totally. So the first one is Jambudvipam, which is surrounded by an ocean. Each dvipa that is surrounded by another ocean, they both are of the same vistara. When you go to the next ocean, it becomes double the size of when you go to the next dvipa, it becomes double the size of the earlier dvipa. So Jambudvipam surrounded by Lavana Samudram or Kshara Samudram, whichever. The next one is Plaksha Dvipa, which is surrounded by Ikshu Samudram. These two are of the same measurement, and at the same time it is double the measurement of Jambudvipa and Lavana Sagara. When you go to the next section, it is surrounded by Shalmali Dvipa and Sura Sagara. These two are again double the size of Plaksha Dvipa, and they both are of the same measurement. The fourth one is Kushadvipa and Ghrita or Sarpis Samudram or Ghrita Samudram. These two are again of the same size but twice the size of Shalmali Dvipa and Sura Sagara. The next one, fifth one is Krauncha Dvipam surrounded by Kshira Sagara. Then you have, I think there's Dadhi Saram, Dadhi Manda Samudram. Then you have Shakadvipa, which is surrounded by Kshira Samudram. Now we are in the description of the Shaka Samudram. Shakadvipa. Shakaha tatra Mahavrikshaha. Shakangiradu Tekku sonne. Tekku maramnu sonne. So each island is named specifically because of one particular tree that is there or grass or a parvatam. For example, Kushadvipa was named accordingly because of the amount of Kusha grass, Darbha grass that is found in that island. Tadanantaram tu tatra Kraunchadvipaha iti किमर्थम इति चेत् प्रायः तत्र पर्वतस्य नाम तु क्रौञ्च इति. So it takes after the name of the mountain that is there within that island. Shakadvipa, in Shakadvipa there is a great tree in Shakadvipa. Now all of these dvipas have people who are divided into Chaturvarnyam based very similar to what is there in Jambudvipa. There are rivers and there are principal rivers and principal mountains from where you have a lot of hundreds and thousands of other smaller tributaries or smaller rivers and smaller parvatas are also there. Moving on, Taha Pibanti Muda Yukta Jaladadishu Ye Sthitaha Varsheshu Te Janapadaha Swargat Abhyetya Medinim. Swargat Medinim Abhyetya. Generally, Kshine Punya Martilokam Vishanti Ityuktam. Those whose, the balance of punya has come down, they usually come down to earth, is what we know about this quotation. It is a very popular quotation. So, Swargat Atra Medinim Abhyetya. Where do they come? They'll probably have some amount of punyam which will take them to this Shakadvipa. They'll keep coming down, up and down the lokas there. In a way, to enjoy and to get rid of more of punyam or to do more punyam and then enjoy more of those bhogas. So taha pibanti ityukte atra nadinam nama tu uktam purvam taha nadyaha pibanti nadihi pibanti. They drink water from those rivers, those people who come from swargam. Swargat medinim abhyetya, those people who come from the swargam. ते जनपदाः जलदादिषु वर्षेषु ये स्थिताः, they come and stay in this Jalada, etc. Jalada is the name of one of the Varshas in this Shakadvipa. When he said the names of 7 sons of one of the Ishvara, then you have 7 different Varshas named according to the names of the sons. So it started from Jalada, etc. So Jalada and other regions, they stayed in those regions, and Muda Yuktaha, being very happy, Taha Pibanti, they drank water from these rivers which were flowing in these regions. Dharmahanihi na teshu asti na sangharshaha parasparam maryada vyutkramo napi teshu desheshu saptasu. Teshu saptasu desheshu, in those 7 countries or 7 regions, varsheshu, dharmahanihi teshu na asti. Teshu janeshu janapadeshu dharmahanihi na vidyate. So here you take this teshu as for the regions, whereas here you take it as janapadeshu iti prajasu. Janapadaha, when we say lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu, tarhi tatra kevalam loka iti, we are not talking about the achetana vastu lokam. We are talking about the people inside it, lakshyartha. The same way, when you say Janapada is a country, Janapadaha would mean the people who are living within that country. So Janapadeshu, in among those people, dharma hanihi na asti. There was no everybody performed dharma. There was no reduction of dharma in people. That nobody destroyed dharma in a way that we are all thinking about Kali Yugam today. So dharma hanihi na teshu asti. Parasparam sangharshaha na asti. There is no fight or quarrel between them. Maryada vyutkramaha. Nobody, everybody were within their limits. There was no crossing, vyutkramaha. There was no crossing of Maryada limits in any manner, whether it is character or people or, nobody probably needed fences to separate their houses or gates to lock the house. So, tatha, that Maryada is something that can pervade every aspect of our life. So tatha atra maryada vyutkramaha tu na vidyate eva. Nobody transgressed any boundaries with respect to each other or with respect to the world also. Magaha. Now he moves on to the different kinds of people there. As I said before, chaturvarnyam tu tatrapi vartate. Magaha cha magadhaschaiva manasa mandagaha tatha magaha Brahmana bhuishtaha. So these are the 4 kinds of people: Magaha, Magadha, Manasa and Mandagaha. These are the 4 categories of people who were there in Shakadvipa. Magaha, Brahmana bhuishtaha. Generally, they had the characteristics of Brahmanas. Magadhaha, Kshatriyaha tatha. And Magadha set of people were more closer to Kshatriyas. Vaishyaha tu Manasaha. Manasa, the kind of people called Manasa, Samgnya. Manasa is given to those people who resembled Vaishyas. Tesham Mandagaha tu Shudraha. Tesham, among those people, Mandagaha, the set of people who were called Mandaga. Do not take vyutpattis for any of these things, please, because it won't make sense then. Shudraha can be comparable to the Shudras in this Jambudvipam. Okay. So, Magascha, Magadahaschaiva, Manasa Mandagastada, Maga, Brahmana Bhuishtaha, Magadhaha, Kshatriyaha tatha, Vaishyastu Manasastesham Shudraha, Teshantu Mandagaha. Shakadvipe tu Tair Vishnuhu, Surya Rupa Dharo Mune, Yathoptaihi Ijjate Samyak Karmabhihi Niyatatmabhihi. So after talking about the people, now he has to talk about who is the Pradhana Devata there and in what form Vishnu is present in that island. Shakadvipe, in this Shakadvipa island, Vishnu Surya Rupa Dharaha. He Mune Maitreya, Surya Rupa Dharaha Vishnu Taihi यथोक्तैः जनैः अथवा यथोक्तैः कर्मभिः नियत आत्मभिः तैः इज्यते विष्णुः इज्यते Vishnu is being worshipped. What form is he worshipped in? Surya Rupa Dharaha. He is worshipped in the form of Surya, the sun. Surya Narayana ityapi vadamaha. So taihi yathoktaihi karmabhihi, they worship Vishnu according to the karma or according to the actions that are prescribed in Shastras. Niyata Atmabhihi, they are completely niyatam itukte, with a disciplined Atma Manassa. Ekagra chittataya tatra sarvam karma taihi kriyate. Shakadvipe. And Vishnu is also worshipped in the form of Surya here. Next he moves on to the ocean that surrounds Shakadvipa. Shakadvipastu Maitreya Kshirodena Samavritaha. Shakadvipa is Samavritaha. It is surrounded by Kshiroda, Parkadal, milky ocean. He Maitreya. Shakadvipa Pramanenaiva. So that Kshiroda has the same circumference as Pramanam or measurement as Shakadvipa. Valayena iva veshtitaha. It is as if it is being covered by a circle. Kshirabdihi sarvataha brahman pushkarakhyena veshtitaha dvipena shakadvipattu dvigunena samantataha. Now this is the last dvipam that we are talking about. Pushkaradvipam. This pushkaradvipena veshtitaha kshirabdihi. The kshirabdhi Sagara, Kshirasagaram is surrounded, Veshtitaha, it is surrounded Sarvataha on all directions. He Brahmanna Maitreya iti Pushkarakhyena Dvipena, by the island named Pushkara. Shakadvipat Dvigunena Samantataha. This Pushkara island is also Dviguna. It is twice the size of, twice more than Shakadvipa. Samantataha, surrounding this Shakadvipa on all directions. Kshirabdis sarvato brahman pushkarakhyena veshtitaha dvipena Shakadvipattu dvigunena samantataha. Pushkare. Now he describes this Pushkaradvipa. Who is the Pushkaradvipa? Ishvaraha. Ishvaraha tu tatra savanaha iti. Pushkare savanasyapi mahaviro abhavat sutaha dhatakihi cha tayoho tatra dve varshe namachinhite mahaviram tathaiva anyat dhataki khanda samhitam. Pushkare, Pushkaradvipe cha savanaha eva tatra dvipasya ishvaraha asti. He is the lord of that Pushkaradvipam. He has two sons, Mahaviraha dhatakihi cha abhavat sutaha tasya. He had two children. Their names were Mahavira and Dhataki. So with this itself we know that Pushkaradvipa has been divided into two regions. Tayoho tatra dve varshe nama chinhite. Tayoho namna chinhite dve varshe vartete. There are two regions which have been chinhite, marked by the name of those two children. So the names would be Mahaviram is name of one of the Khandam. Tathaiva Anyat, in the same manner, the second one was named Dhataki Khanda Samhitam. The second one was called Dhataki, named after the second son. Ekahacha Atra Ekaschatra Mahabhaga Prakhyato Varshaparvataha Manasottara Samgyo Vai Madhyato Valayakritihi. There is only one Varsha Parvatam here, which is present in the middle, and that is also in a round fashion. This Parvatam is also in a round fashion, and it separates the island into two in such a manner. So, Ekaha cha atra Varsha Parvataha. There is only one mountain here, and it is called Prakhyataha. How is it called? Manasottara Samgyaha. The name given to it is Manasottara. Madhyataha. It is present in the middle of this dvipam. Valayakritihi, in a manner of bangle. Like a bangle, it is present. Not like a solid cone, but I think it is present like a valayam, because he is saying that it is divided into two regions. So the one inside would be one region, the one outside would be another region. So the mountains are like imagine like a bangle inside the middle of that dvipam. योजनानां सहस्राणि ऊर्ध्वं पञ्चाशद् उच्छ्रितः तावदेव च विस्तीर्णः सर्वतः परिमण्डलः. Sarvataha Parimandalaha, it is surrounding in a circular fashion all round. Sarvataha. It is Uchritaha, its height is Yojananam Sahasrani Urdhvam Panchashat. Urdhvam Panchashatna, I think 1050 yojanas is the height of this mountain. Yes. Yeah, 75. 50,000. Oh, sorry. Panchashad urdhvam, sometimes it can get confused. You can say 1000 plus 50 madri agala. But here he says Panchashat Sahasrani urdhvam uchritaha iti urdhvam tu tatra uchrita shabdena anveti. So you take it as it transcends above the dvipam for about 50,000 yojanas. Tavadeva vistirnaha. The width of it is also 50,000 yojanas. Tavadeva vistirnaha. Pushkaradvipa valayam madhyena vibhajan iva sthitaha asau tena vichinnam jatam Tadvarshakadvayam. Tadvarshakadvayam, because of this mountain which is standing in the middle, Pushkaradvipa Valayam, the Pushkaradvipa itself is like a Valaya, like a bangle, and it is Vibhajan, it is separating it in the middle. Vibhajan iva sthitaha, it is standing inside this Pushkaradvipa as if to separate it into two in the middle. Tena vichinnam jatam. Hence, because of this mountain, there was a separation, vichinnam, into two regions, varshakadvayam. Valayakaram ekam tayoho varsham tatha girihi. Ekaikamapi varsham tatra valayakaram vartate. You have to take it into in the sense of concentric spheres here, or circles. Okay, so concentric circles of first there is a varsha, then there is a parvatam, then outer ring is a varsha. Okay, region. Tatha girihi. Giri, the mountain is also valayakaram. Ekaikamapi varsham tayoho. Among those two, the varsha, the region is also valayakaram. It is like a bangle. Dasha varsha sahasrani tatra jivanti manavaha. People live there for 10,000 years. Niramayaha, without any rogam. Amaya is rogam. Niramayaha, disease free. They live there for 10,000 years. Vishokaha, without any grief. Ragadveshadi varjitaha. They don't have any attachment, nor do they have any hatred towards anything. Adhama uttamau na teshu astam na vadhya vadhakau dvija na irshya asuya bhayam dvesho dosho lobhadikaha nacha. Adhama uttama. Ayantu adhamaha. Ayam uttamaha. Iti tu tatra bhedaha na vidyete. There are no differences as to this person is lower in cadre, this person is higher in cadre. Tatha, there is no difference there at all. Na astam. Vadhya vadhakaucha na astam. Astam iti asid astam asan iti dvivachanam tatra. Langlakarasya. So vadhya vadhakau. Someone who is being killed. Vadhyaha. Athava hantum yogyaha saha iti vadhyaha. Hantum yogyaha vadhyaha. So one who has to be killed. Iti tatha tatra nasti yataha tatra karma tu te tu papa karma eva na kurvanti tarhi katham vadhyaha kaschana bhavitum arhati. Tasmat tatra vadhyaha na vidyate. Vadhakaha api nasti kaschana anyam hanti iti yaha hanta vartate tadrashaha. But there is no killer, nor is there a person who is fit to be killed. Because there are no papam papa actions that are being done. What will prompt them to be like this? Irshya or Asuya, these are the different kinds of Shadripu that is there in the mind, doshas that are there. And none of those doshas are present, so there is no possibility of even such an attitude coming amongst people. So, na Irshya, Asuya, both are different. Irshyangarthu, Asuya is para utkarsha asahanana, not tolerating someone's utkarsha. Yeah. Irshya.
Ascend. Somebody else's ascend.
Ascend adilla para utkarsha asahishnuta da vandu Irshya. Asuya vandu குணேஷு தோஷ ஆவிஷ்கரணம். அதுக்காக
ஒன்னு பொறாம இன்னொன்னு வந்து தோஷ திருஷ்டி.
தோஷ திருஷ்டி தான் அசூயா. அதான் குணேஷு தோஷ ஆவிஷ்கரணம். மதுசூதன சரஸ்வதி வந்து கூடார்த்த தீபிகையில் அதை வந்து எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுவார். அந்த இதை எடுத்து ஈர்ஷ்யாங்கிறது யூஆர் அனேபிள் டு டாலரேட் த ப்ராக்ரஸ் ஆஃப் another person. Asuya is you're looking at the qualities of another person and you are trying to portray that it is in fact a dosha, not a gunam. இதெல்லாம் இந்த குவாலிட்டிஸ் எல்லாம் you will find it in நீதி சதகம். There are several slokas to give that explanation. அதாவது இப்போ unnecessarily the dushtaha tu tatra sadhun drishtva tesham gunan doshapaksham aropayanti iti. They think of their qualities as dosha and they try to say that if someone is talking really well, oh, he is just a nonsense talker, jalpakaha saha ityadi. If someone is standing very close by, enna dheeryam paru avanukku அப்படிங்கிறது அந்த மாதிரி beautifully Niti Shatakam Bhartrahari brings out these qualities very beautifully. Irshya, Asuya, na astam. These two are not there. Or na asti iti. Irshya nasti, Asuya nasti, Bhayam nasti. There is no fear. Dveshaha, no hatred. Lobhadikaha, doshaha iti. Take these two together. So there is no fault like lobha, etc. Whatever you call as ripu, the enemies of the mind, none of these qualities, none of these mistakes or doshas are present in someone, in the people who are there in Pushkaradvipam. Mahaviram bahirvarsham dhataki khandam antatah manasottara shailasya deva daityadi sevitam. Devaha daityaha cha tatra nivasanti. Both devas and asuras live in this Pushkaradvipa. Manasottara Shailasya Bahihi, the outer region, outside of Manasottara Shaila, the mountain, outside of that mountain is your Mahavira Varsham. The one inside, Manasottara Shailasya Antataha, the region inside the mountain, like a valley probably, that is called Dhataki Kandam. Satyanrite na tatra astam dvipe pushkara samgite na tatra nadyaha shailaha va dvipe varshadvayanvite. There are no other rivers, no mountains at all. Satya anrite tatra na astam. There is no concept of satyam, no concept of anritam at all. Only when there is when someone is, there is ஒரு ஃப்ளிப் சைடு காமிச்சா தானே இன்னொரு சைடு தெரியும் இல்லையா? அதனால சத்தியம்ங்கிறது ஒன்று எல்லாமே சத்தியமாக இருக்கும் பொழுது, when everything else is satyaswarupa, there is no concept of anritam there at all. So you don't need to specify that it is satyam or it is anritam. So that concept itself is absent in this Pushkara Dvipa. Pushkara Samgite Dvipe, in the island which is named Pushkara, Satya Anrite Tatra na astam. Concept of truth or untruth. Tatra Pushkara Dvipe, Nadyaha Shailaha va Varshadvayanvite Dvipe Tatra. In this island which has two regions, there are no rivers nor are there any mountains. Tulyaveshastu Manujaha. There is no Chaturvarnyam here. All of the people who are there have the same format or same Vesha, Rupam, everything. tulya veshaha. They are all similar to each other. Manujaha, devaha, tatra ekarupinaha. There is no difference between whether he is a man or a deva or a god. Tatha tatra vyatyasaha. There is no bhedaha eva. Varnashrama acharahinam. There is no acharam, the custom of following varnashramas, as in brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha ityadi varnanam ashramaha tatra vidyante. Tadanantaram dharmacharana varjitam. There is no pressure to perform dharma or anything. It is just a living which is very easy. There is an ease of living and an ease of practice in everything, that there is no specific impetus for people to push them to perform only dharma or something like that. Okay. Trayi varta dandanitihi dandaniti shushrusha rahitancha. Trayi, Veda Trayi is not there. Varta is also not there. Trayi varta Trayi varta dandanitihi dandaniti shushrusha rahitancha yat varshadvayam tu maitreya bhaumaha swargaha ayam uttamaha. Ayam bhaumaha swargaha uttamaha vartate hai maitreya. This varshadvayam, this region which has two regions, this dvipam which has two regions, is uttamaha. It is the best, and it is also like a swarga on bhumi. Bhaumaha swargaha. Swargaha bhumau eva swargaha yadi vidyate tarhi evameva bhavitavyam iti. So swarga bhaumaha swargaha ayam, and there are no trayi. Veda trayi is not present. Varta is actually jivika. Vartakamna solrom இல்லையா? So varta, jivika or krishi, that is not there. Dandanitihi. Because people do not have any irshya, asuya, dveshadi bhavaha tu tatra na vidyate iti karanat tatra dandanityehe avashyakata eva na vidyate. There is no necessity for Chanakya Niti or anything of that sort. Shishrusha rahitam cha. Nobody needs to serve another person for something. So they just live anayasena. So trayi varta dandaniti shishrusha rahitam cha yat varshadvayantu maitreya bhaumaha swargoyam uttamaha.
So வயசும் ஆகாத வாழ்க்கை
இல்ல அதெல்லாம் இல்ல. தச வருஷ சஹஸ்ராணின்னு போட்டிருக்கா. Their life is அதான் இதெல்லாம் கிடையாதே. There is no varnashrama dharmam.
வார்த்தக்கியம் இல்ல சொன்னீங்க,
அதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது அவளுக்கு. அம்மாட்டுக்கு ஜாலியா இருந்துருக்கு. சர்வர்த்து சுகதஹ காலஹ ஜரா ரோகாதி வர்ஜிதஹ धातकी खंड समज्ञे अथ महावीरे च वै मुने. வாஸ்தவம் தான், போர் அடிக்கும். எல்லாம் ஒரே ஸ்டாக்னண்ட்டாக இருக்கும் நமக்கு. சர்வர்த்து சுகதா காலஹ காலஸ்து தத்ர சர்வ ருத்து சுகதா. இட் இஸ் வெரி சுகம் ஏவ ததாதி தத்ர சர்வேஷு அபி ருத்துஷு. இன் ஆல் சீசன்ஸ் இட் கிவ்ஸ் ஹாப்பினஸ். तादृशः कालः वर्तते तत्र. So jara rogadi varjitaha. There is no old age, no rogam, disease. Dhataki khanda samjne ata mahavire cha vai mune. So in both dhataki khanda and in the mahavira khandam varsham, the time or the nature is always such that it provides happiness during all season, and there is no old age nor is there any disease. Nyagrodha pushkaradvipe brahmanaha sthanam uttamam tasmin nivasati brahma pujyamanaha surasuraihi. There is a nyagrodha tree in the middle. In that nyagrodha tree is sthanam uttamam. It is the best sthanam for Brahma. It is Brahma sthanam. Chaturmukha brahmanaha tu tatra nyagrodha vrikshe eva tatra adhasthale saha vasati iti. Tasmin nivasati. Brahma stays there, and he is pujyamanaha. He is worshipped by surasuraihi, both the devas and the asuras. स्वादु उदकेन उदधिना पुष्करः परिवेष्टितः समेन पुष्करस्यैव विस्तारात् मण्डलं तथा पुष्करस्यैव विस्तारात् by the same measurements of this pushkara dvipa samena vistarat by the equal measurement of pushkara dvipa pushkara is surrounded by pariveshtitah it is surrounded by udadina by an ocean which has udaka water which is swadhu which is very sweet so ikshurasam tu tat anyat atra swadhu udakam it is just sweet water which surrounds mandalam tatha it surrounds in a circular fashion around pushkara dvipa evam dvipaha samudraischa saptabhihi avritaha saptadvipaha saptabhihi samudraihi avritaha in this manner the 7 islands are surrounded by 7 oceans dvipaschaiva samudrascha samano dviguno parau dvipaha cha samudraha cha samano island and the ocean are equal in size. Parau dviguno. The next two will be twice the size of the earlier two. So parau here would mean the next one. So the next two, which is parau dvipa samudrau tu purva dvipa samudrebhyaha dvigunau vartete. Clear? Payamsi sarvada sarva samudreshu samani vai न्यून अतिरिक्तता तेषां कदाचित् नैव जायते it is always maintained the ocean the amount of water that is there in the ocean never increases nor does it go down it is there is always the same amount of waters that are there in the ocean can be surprising right he will explain it in the next few shlokas so sarvada always Sarva Samudreshu, in all of the oceans, their respective water content, amount of water, if in a small patram you can have only 500 ml, that is how much there will be in the first samudram, let's say. If there is a bigger patram, whatever it can contain, that is how much. That amount will never increase or decrease. Samani payamsi vartante. न्यून अतिरिक्तता तेषां पयसां कदाचित् नैव जायते तेषां पयसां न्यून अतिरिक्तता वा न जायते कदाचित् never can you have a न्यूनता a reduction in the amount of water atiriktata an increase in the amount of water that is there in the samudra he gives an example very beautiful example sthali stham अग्नि संयोगात् उद्रेकि सलिलं यथा तथा इंदु वृद्धौ सलिलं अंबोधौ मुनिसत्तम we have heard that because of इंदु वृद्धि शुक्ल पक्षे तथा when Purnima happens when the full moon happens there is a high tide and the ocean rises there seems to be an increase in the ocean अंबोधौ इंदु वृद्धौ सलिलं Tatha vartate. It is present in such a manner as how you have a water in a vessel and Agni Samyogat, when you place it on the stove and there is a Samyoga, there is a connection with Agni fire, Udreki Bhavati, it boils up. But the amount of water does not increase or decrease. It could actually decrease because of water vapor. But imagine you close it with a airtight lid and there is condensation that happens and the same amount of water condenses and falls back into the water itself. Think of it in that manner. So this also here the water goes up into the clouds and then falls back as rain. So the amount of water stays the same. In the same manner, sthali stham. Sthali ityukte patram. Patre vidyamanam jalam Agni Samyogat by the contact with the fire. Udreki ityukte it just moves up. It seems to move up as if it increases in quantity. Tatha in the same manner, but it doesn't increase in quantity. The same manner, Indu Vriddhau, when the moon increases or when the time of the moon increase happens, Ambodhau even in the ocean salilam tatha udreki bhavati adu oru kondalippu varudhu avladhaan Just like boiling water, the samudram also, it just boils up a little bit and then goes down. The amount remains the same. अन्यून अनतिरिक्ताः च वर्धन्ति आपः ह्रसन्ति च उदयास्तमनेषु इन्दोः पक्षयोः शुक्लकृष्णयोः इन्दोः शुक्लकृष्णयोः पक्षयोः during the shukla paksha and the krishna paksha of the moon udaya astamaneshu during udayam during the rise of the moon and during the setting of the moon apaha waters anyuna anatiriktaha without the measurement increasing or decreasing vardhanti they grow and at the same time they seem to rasanti they seem to recede also. Yeah. दशोत्तराणि पंचैव ह्यङ्गुलानां शतानि वै आपां वृद्धिक्षयौ दृष्टौ सामुद्रीणां महामुने. हे महामुने, सामुद्रीणाम् अपाम, this is an adjective to apam. Apam idhir adhishtanam apramattam irukla. Ap is nitya strilingam, nitya bahuvachanam. So apam iti shashti bahuvachanam atra. Samudri ityukte samudrasya samudre bhavaha athava samudrasya iyam samudri samudryaha apaha iti. So you take it as an adjective to jalam. The waters of the ocean that belong to the ocean. Samudrinam apam vriddhikshayau drishtau. We find, we perceive an increase and a decrease of the waters of the ocean. For what is the distance that we see? Dasha uttarani panchaiva angulanam shatani. Pancha shatani 500. Dasha uttarani plus 10. So 510 angulas. Angula is another kind of measure. Just like yojana, you have angula is also a measure. So the increase and decrease you find during the Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha are will more or less be around 510 angulas. Bhojanam pushkar.
दशोत्तरम् इत्युक्ते दशोत्तरम् इति विंशतिः अस्ति वा?
न न विंशतिः
किमर्थं दशोत्तरम् इति उक्तं खलु?
दशोत्तरम् इति
दश विंशतिः एवं नास्ति वा?
न न न ओ तथा नास्ति. It says 510 angulas iti.
शतानि
शतानि irukku illaya. So it is an adjective to shatani. Pancha dasha uttara so yeah, dashottarani pancha shatani iti. 500s plus 10. That's how you take it. Bhojanam pushkaradvipe tatra swayam upasthitam shadrasam bhunjate vipra prajaha sarvaha sadaivahi. Sadaiva at all times, sarvaha prajaha, all of the people, he vipra, Maitreya, bhojana, shadrasam bhojanam bhunjate, bhunkte, bhunjate, bhunjate. People eat food which has all 6 rasas, madhu, katu, tikta, amla, lavana, iti. So all of these 6 ruksha, 6 rasas, they eat all the time because tatra pushkaradvipe swayam bhojanam upasthitam vartate. Automatically food is always present there, it seems. So anayasena prayatnam vina eva shadrasopetam bhojanam tatra bhujyate. स्वादु उदकस्य परितः दृश्यते आलोक संस्थितिः द्विगुणा कांचनी भूमिः सर्वजन्तु विवर्जिता. स्वादु उदकस्य परितः, surrounding the Swadu Udakam, the sweet waters ocean, there is a region which has no people at all in it. It is like a black space madri, dark matter space in the Star Wars. அந்த மாதிரி சீரியல்லாம் பார்த்தேன்னா யூ வில் நோ தட் திஸ் இஸ் சம்திங் வேர் நோ மேன்ஸ் லேண்ட் மாதிரி. ஸோ அலோக சம்ஸ்திதிஹி ந வித்யதே லோகஸ்ய ஜன நிவாசபூதஸ்ய சம்ஸ்திதிஹி. தெர் இஸ் நோ ஃபவுண்டேஷன் ஃபார் எனி பீப்புள் டு ஸ்டே. ஸோ இட் இஸ் லைக் empty space there where no people are staying. That is seen beyond this Swadudaka, the seventh samudra. After that, sarvajantu vivarjita dviguna kanchani bhumihi vartate. Beyond that aloka samsthiti, there is a kanchani bhumi, there is a suvarna bhumi, a golden region, which is twice the size of this Swadudakam. Sarva Jantu Vivarjita. There are no pranis there at all, no living beings at all in that Suvarna Bhumi. Beyond that, you have the Lokaloka Parvata. Lokalokas Tata Shailaha Yojana Ayuta Vistritaha Uchrayenapi Tavanti Sahasrani Achalaha hi Saha. This Lokaloka Parvatam is supposed to be your end of the entire Brahmandam on one side. So this Tataha Lokalokaha Loka Aloka. Usually in Gerindita you find the Surya Udayaha tu atra Lokaloka Parvate eva vartate iti Shrutam Surya Shatake api. So Yojana Ayuta Vistritaha. It is the breadth of this mountain Lokaloka Parvatam is 10,000 yojanas in breadth. Uchrayena in height also Tavanti Sahasrani. 10,000 Tavanti Sahasrani. Ayuta Sahasrani iti. 10,000 in height also. Saha Achalaha Lokalokaha Vartate. Tataha, beyond that, this mountain is covered with tamas. It is covered with darkness. Tataha tamas samavritya tam shailam sarvataha sthitam. Tam shailam samavritya, surrounding that Lokaloka Parvatam, tamaha sarvataha sthitam. Darkness is present everywhere. Tamaha cha, and that darkness is pariveshtitam. It is covered samantat on all sides by the andakataha. Andakatahena samantat pariveshtitam. Andakataha ityukte, this entire universe is like an egg, andam. Katahana, நம்ம கடாய் சொல்கிறோமோ இல்லையோ, இந்த இலுப்பச்சட்டி சொல்கிறோமோ இல்லையோ, அந்த இலுப்பச்சட்டியை 2 இலுப்பச்சட்டியை இப்படி வச்சா எப்படி இருக்குமோ அதுதான். That it is like kataha is like a pot. It is a kadai, we say. So anda katahena tamaha pariveshtitam. That darkness is completely covered by the brahmandasya koshena. Panchashat koti vistara seyam urvi mahamune sahaiva andakatahena sadvipa abdhi mahidhara. Esha urvi, seyam urvi. So now this entire bhumi that we have described for nearly 95 slokas, seyam urvi panchashat koti vistara. It is the entire breadth of this is, width of this is 50 crores yojanas. Saha andakatahena, along with this andakataha, that is the kosham, andakosham, sadvipa, all of these islands, and abdhi, samudram, and mahidhara, along with these mountains. The entire think of it as an egg. This whole thing has a circumference of 50 crores of yojanas. Seyam dhatri vidhatri cha sarvabhuta gunadhika adhara bhuta sarvesham maitreya jagatam iti. He maitreya, esha eva seyam dhatri. This bhumi is your dhatri. She is the supporter for everything. That is palayitri iti. Dhatri ityukte, one who protects everything. Vidhatri janayitri. She also produces everything that is there in this bhumi. Sarva bhuta guna adhika. Palanadibihi sarvebhyaha bhutebhyaha akashadibhyaha adhika guna tasyaha varta. So she has qualities which are much more than other bhutas because she is able to protect all of these people. पालनात् आधारभूता च एषा एव जगताम् आधारभूता. She is the substratum or the support for all of the worlds. इति श्री विष्णुमहापुराणे द्वितीये अंशे चतुर्थोऽध्यायः. From the fifth adhyaya, the fifth adhyaya is a description of Patalam. We will see that next class. Okay. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vacham tato jayamudirayath.